Well, good morning. Happy Veterans Day, everyone. Today is Thursday, November 11th. It is Veterans Day 2021. We're starting our stream a little bit later today because of the holiday. I have the day off, and Molly and I decided we would. I was going to say sleep in, but we didn't sleep in. She has her body clock, and she got us up at 5, bright and early. But we're here a little bit later during the morning here, but than our usual walk. But hey, good morning, Mrs. M. Good morning, Light and Love. Thank you guys for stopping in. We really appreciate it. I know Molly does. She's been raring to go for the last hour, ready to go on our morning walk here. But like I said, we wanted to schedule it a little bit later. Now you're probably going to lose me here in a second because, I get every morning, we get a little lag in the driveway. There's this one weird spot. I don't know why, but we get the lag. So yeah, there it was. That one crazy little spot in the driveway. Good morning, Mike. Glad to see you. Thank you for coming in. As usual, we're doing our morning walk here. Yesterday it was a little rainy. I don't know if any of you saw the video from yesterday. It was a little wet. It wasn't too bad. It was certainly a lot warmer than it is today. But I think Colleen said the temperature was 31 degrees Fahrenheit. But it looks like we're going to have a sunny day. It's a nice day, I think, so far. I hope you all are having a good day. And for any veterans out there, I want to say thank you. Happy Veterans Day to you. Thank you all for your service and doing what you do. Once a veteran, always a veteran. It doesn't matter when you served. You could be 18 or 88, and it really makes no difference. I have several friends and family members that were veterans. So to you, we salute you today. Happy Veterans Day to all. I myself was not a veteran. I chose to serve uh, locally here um, in my community. And I suppose we needed people like that as well. So here we are. So I have to show you. Yesterday, if you saw yesterday's stream, Molly had a raincoat on. So today, Colleen decided she would um, get a sweater out for Molly. So let me switch over. Molly has her skull and crossbones sweater on, and on this chilly autumn morning, she is just something else. This dog. She loves to go on these morning walks, and um, we have to have her on the lead because she's not disciplined enough to stay with me. I think it's the age. I've had several labs over the years, and they're all the same. Uh, Once she probably turns 6 or 7, I'll be able to take her off the leash and she'll stay with me. But it's that hunting dog instinct, I think. She gets on a scent and forgets about everything else and just has that one thing on her mind. Wants to follow the scent. Hold on, pup. I'll switch the camera back here. All right. So, how's everybody doing today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. And hey, good morning, loves. Good to see you. I hope you're having a good evening. Good morning to you from the States. It's we're celebrating Veterans Day today here in the U.S., where we celebrate our veterans, present and past, for making that leap into protecting all of us, protecting our freedoms, and that flag that I so do love, that I show at the end of most of the streams that we do. Hey, good morning, Wild Edibles. How are you this morning? I'm glad you could come in. It's very good to see you all. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Looks like it's going to be a great day. We got a bunch of things planned for ourselves here. Anybody got any big plans for today? Is it a normal day for you, or anything on the docket that you're going to do that's a little different than normal? Mine is going to be working on my kitchen, which is still continuing. We get a little bit closer every day, so. But it's good to have a day off. Although it's weird being Thursday, I was kind of hoping they'd give us Friday off, and then I could have a 3-day weekend. But that's okay. I'll take one day off, and in the middle of the week is fine. Hey, excellent. You guys had a chick hatch. That's exciting. I love that when that happens. We had an incubator back in the day, and we would put all the eggs in there, and it's exciting to see them hatch. And it's almost like popcorn. Once one pops open, they all start to pop open. Pretty exciting, especially for the kids when they were little. Just trying to get stronger, huh, Mrs. M? Well, good for you. Remember, one day at a time. And don't forget, PMA saves the day. Try to remain positive. Find some positive light in the day. It's there. Sometimes you got to look a little harder for it, but it is definitely there. Yeah, Terry. I love the little peepers. When you have several of them there and they all start to discover their voice and make their little peep and squeak noises, and a little choir of peeping chicks. Very cool. So you hope that more than just that one hatch. Oh, with the chickens, only one hatched. So, well, that's not good. How many do you have? How many eggs do you have ready to go here? We I think one time we had 10 or 11 all at once. All but one hatched for us when we had them in the incubator. We didn't have too many chick. Well, I guess compared to some people, I know some of my neighbors, they had maybe half a dozen. We had over 30 chickens at one point. Lots of eggs. We were inundated with fresh eggs, which is not a bad thing. We gave some away, and some people insisted on buying them from us. So some of my coworkers, they would get a dozen eggs once a week from us. Mrs. M used to have an incubator have 2 incubators for chicken eggs. You had ducks, chickens, and turkeys. You had a deformed duck. Whistler was its name. He followed you around. How cute. That's awesome. How was he deformed? Was he had like a deformed foot or something? I've seen that before, where ducks have a crazy looking, deformed foot or something. Cheap car shopping and looking at mystery shopper jobs. Excellent. I like it. Don't overwhelm yourself, but being productive is a good thing. It helps keep you focused for the day. I know that helps me. Um, it's not hard to wake up and go, oh, geez, I don't feel like doing anything today. And sometimes that's okay, just to hang out. But like I said, I've already got my mental list of stuff planned for today. I'm going to take advantage of having the day off today. Normally at work, this is Thursday, so it would be my day out in the field. Part of my job in fire prevention is I do code enforcement. So I go to the commercial and residential buildings in the town, and I do inspections on all new construction. Inspect all the gas piping and fireplaces and chimneys and notification devices like smoke detectors and exit signs and things like that. So that's what I'd normally be doing today. But today, we're going to be... Oh, Molly got caught up on her leash. Today, I'm going to be hanging a microwave, which I don't know if that sounds like fun or not. Not sure if that sounds like good plans or not, but I know Colleen will be happy once I get it installed and working. I have to move the electrical for it. We haven't had one that hung on the wall before. That the last one we had sat on. Oh, Good Loves. Okay, I'll make sure that I send off the link to you then, so you can listen to some of my music. Yeah, the last microwave we had sat on the counter, and we had just a vent hood above the stove. This one goes above the stove, this microwave, and has the vent hood in it. So it takes a little bit more work. I have to install the outlet in the cabinet above it, and then cut a hole in the side of the house to vent it out. So that should be interesting. How many hats do I wear? I have a lot. I have a hat tree that Colleen bought me, and each spot where one hat goes has at least 2 hats on it. I like hats. I'm kind of a hat guy. I think I was born in the wrong time. I would have liked to, well, I don't know about being born back in the 30s or 40s, but that style of men's dress with a 3-piece suit and a fedora, that would suit me best. I like that type of clothing. We have a lot of hats. When I perform too, I try to wear different style of hats. You have one chicken that has a goopy eye. Feather grows towards the eye. It gets more care. Oh yeah. Is it because, does it have the goopy eye because the feathers kind of grow into it and irritate it? Very cute. I liked having our chickens and our ducks when we had them. I don't miss them so much that I'd want to get them back. It was fun when we had them. I mean, there's nothing like having fresh eggs. Anybody that has ever gone out to the chicken coop and grabbed a warm egg from underneath the chicken that just laid it and then bring it in and cook it up, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Farm fresh eggs are the best. Farm fresh eggs are certainly the best. We never had any, not since I was a kid. Colleen and I never had any, any pigs or cows or anything like that. When I was a kid, I grew up on a small farm where we had pigs and we had a cow, or we replaced the cow every time we would put one in the freezer. And we also had a couple sheep, and those ended up in the freezer as well. My dad is Greek, and we ate a lot of lamb growing up. And so we had all that on the farm, plus the chickens, ducks, geese, rabbits. We had lots of rabbits. Those things multiply, man. They're like sex machines. Oh, okay. I thought you meant actual hats. Yeah, so one thing about being a firefighter is that I was able to moonlight on my days off and stay busy and do other work. So I've done plumbing. My dad was a plumber by trade, so I learned how to do piping and all of that. And I also worked for a guy putting heat in. So I installed a lot of boilers and oil tanks and that kind of stuff. So yeah, being a firefighter, you learn a lot about a different thing or different things. And certainly in the fire service, we learn about building construction and electrical and all of that. So yeah, I'm pretty lucky. I have a vast eclectic education where I can get some things done. Yeah, yeah, the rabbits. Yeah, they're those bunnies. I'll tell you, you'd have 6 of them and then come out the next day, and it seemed like you had 6 more. Those things never stopped. But we did back in those days. I'm talking the late '60s, early '70s. Things were a little tough for my family, and I guess we were poor compared to today's standards. Then we didn't really realize it. We just were self-reliant. We grew all our own vegetables and canned them all, and had our own livestock, and took care of ourselves. So and that's something that I brought into adulthood too. I have those skills as an adult. So God forbid, but if anything happened, we'd be able to at least hopefully survive. We burn wood. I have a wood stove, and we burn wood for heat. A kid, that's all we had for heat was wood and coal. We did have propane, but that was for the kitchen stove and for the hot water heater. But as far as heating the house, it was wood and coal. Now I have an oil boiler, but we supplement that with the wood stove, and it helps. It definitely helps save some money. And I haven't fired the wood stove up yet, but based upon today's temperature, it's probably going to happen. I think it's like 30, 31. I think Colleen said it was 31 degrees out here. Jeez, Molly. She is like dragging me along this morning. You had a rooster, George. The tail feather was over a yard long. Oh, I bet he looked cool. Very cool. A yard long, that's 3 feet. That's quite a tail. I would have liked to seen him. When I go to the fair, one of the things I like to visit is the poultry barn, and to see all the different kinds of chickens. And I like the one, I don't know the names, but I like the ones that have the feathers on their legs. They look like they're wearing feather pants or feather boots or something. And they have their feathered crop on their head. Looks like they're wearing a hat. Pretty cool. I love that. I mean, I love animals anyway, but it's cool to see so many different types of chickens out there. We mostly had laying hens. Even growing up, we didn't really have any of those exotic ones. Just the ones for getting eggs and making breakfast. Oh, silkies. Okay, that's what they're called. Silkies. All right. Yeah, those are cool looking. I like them. It does. It looks like they're wearing like some sort of feathered pants. So you raised them. Yeah, they're cool. I like those kind of chickens. They're very cool. I'll visit people with them now. I think we're done having chickens for sure. Who knows though? You never know. I may have to get a couple someday. I do miss those fresh eggs. I need to find somebody local here that has chickens so that I can buy some fresh eggs from them. But good times, good memories. Mike says, yes, silkies. We have some chicks a few weeks old. They're so puffy. Yeah, right? I know, huh? It's like they got feather jackets on and stuff. Very cool. Yeah, the feathered heads. It's like they're wearing a hat, right? I mean, all the chickens I had combs on their head. That red saw blade looking comb. But some of those chickens definitely look like they're wearing hats. Yeah, bonnets, right, Mrs. M. Yeah, very unique, very cool. Molly is looking stylish in her sweater. That was a hand-me-down for her from my black lab, Carly, who we had when we got Molly, but she was 13 when we got Molly, and she made it to 15 years old. She was probably the longest living dog I've ever had, especially for a purebred, making it to 15 years old. She was, I probably say this about every one of my dogs, but Carly was probably the best dog I ever had. Molly's right up there, though. This one, she's turning out to be just as good as Carly was. Molly has definitely attached herself to me. I'm the one she wakes up every morning. I'm the one I'll be sitting in my chair and she'll sit down and stare at me. And I wish she could talk. Get some sort of a dog translator box to hang around her neck so she can tell me what she's thinking. All you hear is peep, peep, peep. Yeah, you're like, don't open up yet. Yeah, that's cool though. I like the little chickens. So let's see. It's 7:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Thursday morning, November 11th. It's Veterans Day, like I said earlier, and today we celebrate all our veterans, past and present. If you have any veterans in your life or have any friends, family members that were veterans, say a little prayer for them, say a thank you. Because without those folks, who knows where we'd be today. Hard telling, not knowing, as a friend of mine used to say. So a big shout out and a thank you to all of them. My dad was a veteran. He was in the Korean War in the 50s. And he is going to be 88 years old next month. He lives in Florida and he's doing fantastic. And that's one thing. If you have anybody, right, Terry. I said that to Colleen. I go, look at. She's like, She's like definitely diva, I guess. I don't have a better term for it. She's like biker dog with her skull and crossbones on. She has several sweaters. We went with red today. Um, she has a black one that has bones on it, and then she has a just a straight up gray one. Colleen said that one's for when company comes over. I'm not sure what that means, but I guess that's her Sunday best sweater. And she has a purple winter coat. That's kind of a quilted jacket that is nylon on the outside, so it'll repel snow. And then, of course, her rain poncho that she had on yesterday. I'm sure she appreciates, especially the sweaters. I mean, they have their own fur sweater, a fur coat, but I'm sure the extra insulation doesn't hurt. I'm sure she likes it. I keep stopping because she's stopping, and I can take the time today. I'm not on a time constraint as far as having to get back in time for work. So I'm letting her have a little more time to do her thing. She's over there. I think you can see her. She's just looking around. What are you doing? What do you see? Very excited. She loves to go on these walks. She's cooped up most days. Oh, we got a car coming. Come here. Come here. Come here. Yeah, she's cooped up most days. Colleen and I are at work. So Molly's in. There goes my son Nick. He's off to work. My son Nicholas. Um, yeah, Molly's cooped up most days, just because everybody's at work. We're funny. We leave the TV on for her so she can hear the music. And YouTube has they have video loops for dogs. Yeah, yet she'd probably lick you to death. Gray is her regal gear, right? Yeah, she has like a purple lavender looking coat. Right? There it is. There's you mentioned the regal, so royal. Yeah, Molly is definitely um not a watchdog in any sense of the word. She's definitely a lap dog. She'll lap you to death. She's very friendly, and that's why another thing is why I don't let her loose, because um she would probably get into some stranger's car with them and just, you know, we'd lose her. That would be devastating. So as much as I hate keeping her on the leash, she wouldn't stay with me. Like I said, she gets distracted, and there's a lot going on in the neighborhood as far as um, animals and wildlife. And with dogs' incredible sense of smell, she is on top of everything. You know, not only do we have other dogs in the neighborhood, and I've talked about it in other streams, but we have turkeys that come through, of course, raccoons and skunks and those types of critters. We have bears, believe it or not. I have to secure my trash up because the bears will get into it and tear it apart. Those and those pesky raccoons get into the trash. But we live near some water, so we have fisher cats that come around. Um, you name it. Not quite lions, tigers, and bears, but the bears certainly, yes. When I first moved here in this neighborhood, there wasn't as many homes as we have now, and we had I would have moose actually come right through the yard. Um, we do have deer. The moose have moved on. And this spring, we had a family of fox. It was so cute to see the two adults with the little babies. There was, I think, 4 babies. So we had the total of 6 red fox that would come around. And word on the street is that some of the people around didn't like them. They were afraid of them. And Fish and Game came, and they captured them and relocated them. So at least they're okay. Molly TV. Yep. She's the star of the show. She's definitely our little star. Someone said yesterday that we spoil her, and we do. We really do, and I don't mind. You know, they deserve all the love and everything that they can get from us because, they're certainly don't last as long as we do. I wish they did, but they're only with us for, somewhat of a short time compared to us, and I want to just make the best for her. Make sure that she every day is a good thing for her. Your pure breed chow named, is it Mickey? Mickey Lee? Oh, got stolen from a rest area. That's terrible. Oh, see, and that's what I worry about. That's why once in a while Molly will get off. Like we have a chain, well, not a chain, it's more of a cable, but when we let her out so she can do her business, I put it on her and I have to watch her because she'll slip out of her collar. Before you know it, she's down the road. And man, I panic. I just don't want anything bad to happen to her. They're like your kids. That's got to be just awful having somebody steal your dog. I don't know what I'd do. I'd have a couple bad days for sure, a couple bad weeks. So, they're like your kids. I mean, I know when my boys were really little, just like Molly, if you turn your back on them for a second, they'd be gone. They'd be taken off somewhere. So you got to keep an eye on them. I remember being at the mall, the local mall here, and when Nick, I don't know how old Nick was, maybe 5. We were in a clothing store, and you know how they have those clothing racks? They're circular, and they hang like shirts on them and stuff. He got in the middle of one. I had turned around, and he was gone. Now, he was not gone. He was right there near me, but I couldn't see him. He was inside that rack, and they're hiding. And oh my gosh, what a panic I felt. You start looking around, and hey, I'm eating something. What are you eating? I'm not going to tell you what I think she was eating. Crazy dog. But yeah, the panic that I felt having, not being able to see Nick. And he came out and he was giggling. He thought he was funny, and I scolded him. I'm like, you can't do that. You gave Dad such a panic. We don't want to lose you. And I feel the same way about the dog. Yeah, so the sun is up high. It's actually very bright this morning. Right and in my face, and I like it. Gotta love the sun. That's right, Mrs. M. Yes, that's right. I didn't want to say it, but she found something, was chewing on it, which is absolutely just gross. I don't know why they do that. I'm sure somebody knows the reason why, but I just think that's disgusting. I'm not going to let her kiss me for a while. I have to brush her teeth. Oh, another car coming. Got to reel her in. Reeling in the puppy. Is that you got fog where you're at, Mrs. M? The day warming up for you? Yeah, animal instincts, right? I was going back to, yeah, you said the fog is getting off the ground. Must be getting warm where you're at. We got frost on the ground here. I think it's going to be a decent day, though. Feels like it's warming up a little bit. I hope everybody has good weather where you're at today. Yesterday it rained till about, I don't know, maybe lunchtime, around noontime or so. Hey, good morning, Kenny. How are you, sir? Thanks for stopping in. Very, very glad to see you this morning. I hope you got some sleep last night. But knowing you may be running on empty as usual this time of day. You neither have owned a dog in so many years. Yeah, it feels lonely. Thinking about getting a corgi or a weenie dog. Yeah, my folks had a dachshund. They had the wiener dog. They named her Heidi. She was a neat little dog. Yeah, we weren't gonna get another dog when we got Molly, but we decided. So the dog I spoke about earlier, Carly, she was one of two black labs that we had, and the older one, her name was Raven. You know, fitting for a black dog. She passed at 13, so then we just had Carly, and we weren't weren't really planning on getting another one. We figured, we would just enjoy Carly until her days were up, but I don't know. I'll have dogs forever, and we're already thinking about getting the second one. I don't know how I'll do my morning walks with the two. Won't be able to hold my phone and do both dogs. I'll definitely have to have Colleen come with me, plan them around her. Corgis are hyper, but wieners are calmer. Okay. All right. Corgis they're cool looking though. They got those short little legs, and I have a friend who has one. Purebred dogs in general, I've learned over time that they're a little bit more work. I'm not sure exactly why. I mean, I've had mutts that were more trainable at a younger age, as far as them sticking with you and minding better. I'm not sure why that is. It's probably just because the purebred, those dogs have been genetically made for certain things. So maybe that's why. I mean, with Molly being a Labrador retriever, she's a bird dog. She's a hunting dog. So she's always sniffing and getting on some sort of a scent. I mean, that's what these walks that we do every day consist of, is her sniffing something. I agree with you, Mike. Having a dog is awesome. There's nothing like having the love of a pet. Now, I certainly don't think different about anybody that has any other kind of a pet, like a cat, or I've seen people that have rabbits in their house and put them on a leash and walk them around. I think the love of a pet is great. But for me, I'm a dog guy. I'm a dog guy through and through. It's hard to have a dog I'm sorry, it's hard to have a cat go on walks like this with you. I know that some do. They have little harnesses and that. I've seen people walk their cats, but as far as, I don't know, it's a lot easier to have the dog jump in the truck with you. And we have our rituals. We go to the transfer station, Molly and I. That's one of the things we do is she'll get in the truck and we go to the transfer station. And the attendant at the transfer station is very familiar with Molly. In fact, he has little dog cookies he keeps in his pocket for anytime somebody comes with a dog. Um, yeah, Terry, they do have fluffy rumps. Um, and I think getting a rescue is the way to go. I mean, with Molly, we did get her from a breeder, but the black labs, we rescued both of them. But Colleen was, she wanted to get Molly. She wanted specifically a chocolate lab and a female one. And sometimes with rescues, it'll take you forever to find exactly what you want. But I'm all about rescuing dogs. I think that that's a good thing in that there's dogs that all they want to be is loved, and some of them, I mean, I saw a picture of a dog. He'd spent 7 years in a kennel. I think like one of those adoption kennels, and nobody adopted him. I can't even imagine what that's like. Poor thing being locked up in a cage for 7 years with no one to love him. I mean, that's all they want. They want to be able to eat. They want a warm place to sleep, and they want to be fed. I mean, really, that's all they want. And an occasional walk, and in our case, every day. But they are. You're right, sincerest and loyal lovers. They sure are. Most dogs, that's what they want. They want to be able to please you, and they want to be loved. And I hate to see people abusing animals of any kind. The people that they get a pet and then they tie it out behind their house out in the cold. Makes no sense to me. I remember seeing a commercial probably 20 or 30 years ago. It shows this dog tied up to a doghouse, and it's in the snow and it's shivering and freezing. And you hear a voice, or you hear the sounds of like people in a house watching a football game, and the little kid says something like, "Hey, Uncle Joe, where's that little puppy you have?" And the guy replies, "Oh, that puppy's all grown up. We keep him out back now." I never could understand that. You get a pet, they become part of the family. Nothing else. You treat them like one of your kids. That's how you do it. And if you can't do that, then don't get one. I am very adamant about that. I know during this whole stuff that we're not supposed to talk about that happened, last year and somewhat continues, a lot of people were home, and then so they got pets. And now that they're all going back to work, they want to try to get rid of the pets. Well, are you kidding me? Why'd you get the pet in the first place? Would you think you were never going to go back to work? And the other thing is that dogs sleep for a good part of their day too. So, with Molly, I mean, it breaks my heart to leave her while we're working, but she probably is sleeping most of the time anyway. Even though I put the TV on for her, I know she's not watching it, but at least having that sound in the background, I think maybe is good for. Oh, excuse me. Haven't had my breakfast yet. Burping a little coffee. How is everybody doing? I've been talking a lot about me and about Molly. Is everyone doing well today? I saw Kenneth. Did he say he got some sleep? I missed that one. Yeah, right, Kenneth. I know you don't sleep much. You been up binge watching? I don't know how you do it, you young kids. Oh, well, thank you, Terry. Yeah, I guess I'm a soft soul. That's not a bad thing, I guess. I just care about I care about people and living things. When I was younger, I used to hunt, and I can't bring myself to hunt anymore. Not that I'm not an advocate or an anti-hunter or anything like that. I just don't see the need in these days for me to harm an animal. If we're starving, that's a different story. But as long as I can go down to the grocery store and get something, I'm good. But yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate those kind words. I love my pet. I love animals in general, and people for that matter. Most people are good people, and we're all here doing the same thing and rolling along on this big blue ball that's floating through space, just trying to make our way in the day and have a good day. Some days can be harder than others for sure. Um, but with the love and support of your friends and neighbors, it's a lot easier to get through. I know I saw your last video, Terry, and don't ever feel guilty about taking some time for yourself. It's important. You have to self-reflect, and sometimes you just have to take that time. And like I said, the people that love you and understand, um, they'll allow you to have that time for sure. Allow you to have that time to sort things out mentally. um, there are some days that I just especially after a hard day at work, um, especially in the job that I do, some days I come home and I don't want to be bothered. I need to mentally debrief for some time. And when we first got married, Colleen and I, she didn't really understand that. And she knows very well. I think she can just look at me now and she knows enough to just give me a little time. And I'll just chill out. I usually sit in my chair and I just kind of self reflect and chill out for a little bit and debrief for the day. Definitely debrief. It's not a bad thing. Um, let's see. It's 8:18. We haven't been quite doing an hour yet, which is good. Let's walk around my dirty old yard because I'm back in the driveway. So there's my work car. There's my work car. There's my RV that I talk about. And I just winterized the RV. I still have the slides out on it. I did winterize it is in terms of um, blowing the water out of the pipes and then putting antifreeze in. But this is our 2008 Fleetwood South Wind, and let's see, it's it's uh, it's pretty cool. It was new to us last summer. Like I said, it's an '08, um, but it's a lot of fun. We enjoy it, and I can't wait to take it back out next spring, and I want to try to do more interstate travel with it. We went to Virginia. That's the farthest away we've taken it from where we live. And that was I think in June or July. That was fun. Just Colleen and I. Molly stayed home with Nick. That was a lot of fun. But we have some YouTube friends of ours that we've met, like I've met you all, and they're going to do some meetups throughout the country this year, and we want to be part of that. So this is my tiki bar that Nick and I built on our deck. There's my parrot, and we have actually winterized this yet, but I still haven't put everything away. I have hot and cold running water, which is all shut down now for the season. Let's see if you can see that. There it is. And it's all well lit up. And there's a lobster claw from a lobster that we ate. Can you believe that? The size of that thing. I think that weighed like 18 or 20 pounds, something like that. But we talked about building a little tiki bar for ourselves, Nick and I. And Colleen kept saying to us, we keep hearing about this tiki bar. I haven't seen any tiki bar yet. So a couple of years ago, we ended up building it here on the back deck. Come here, Molly. Come up here. So this is our messy back deck. We spend a lot of time out here in the summer, and down there's the patio, and you can see I think you can see the cinder blocks and that down below. We're building a cement barbecue, but the kitchen kind of got in the way of that. But yeah, this is our little place here, at least the outside. I like our tiki bar. We have a lot of fun. Have a lot of friends here with that. Over in the summertime for sure. We bought one of these heaters. Where is it? Right there. We bought one of these heaters to kind of extend the season, but I think it's getting cold out. You can see the ice. Let me show you. I have this little. You can see the ice right there. So it's getting cold here in the Northeast, and the ice is sticking around. You have a great niece in Panama City Beach, Florida. The sand is a brilliant white, and if you can talk Colleen into going there, would be zero regrets. I bet. You know, it's funny because I say that my ancestors definitely settled in the wrong part of the United States. I am not a fan of the cold. I never really have been. I was born here in Massachusetts, which is just south of where I live in New Hampshire. And my grandfather was a Greek immigrant. And I mean, I don't know. I have never been to Greece, but I don't think it ever snows there. Why he settled in this part of the world, I don't know. But it is what it is. But going back to what you said, yeah, I would definitely not regret it. I can tell you that right now. When all is said and done here, and our work is complete here in New England, I'm going to settle somewhere where there are palm trees. Now, where that is, I don't know. Maybe Florida, maybe Georgia, maybe on the coast in Texas. I don't know. But what I do know is it won't snow where I'm going. I'm getting to the end of my rope, I guess, when it comes to the cold weather. I would love to go down there. I love Florida. My dad's birthday is coming up, I said earlier, in about a month. So Colleen and I are probably going to take a trip down there so I can see him. He turns 88, and he's definitely having a good life, and he's healthy and all of that. So we want to take advantage of that. Molly keeps wrapping herself around me. There's some of the wood I burned. That was a birch tree that we had to cut down because it was close to the driveway, and the snow and ice would get on it, and it would hang down, and we couldn't get out of the driveway. So I had to chop that up. That was cut in the spring, so that'll definitely be burnt this winter. And there's my brush pile. We'll burn that too. Maybe I'll do a live stream when we burn that. Hang out and have a cigar and a couple cocktails by the brush pile burning, or a bonfire, as some people would call it. Those are a lot of fun. Try to have some friends over and we'll do that. But we live on just over 2.5 acres of land here. I have a lot of woods around me. Let's see if you can see more woods. Yeah, there's my front yard. There's the front of the house. Our little house in the woods needs a lot of work, but we're slowly getting there. I take it one day at a time, and I don't stress over things. You're only 3 hours from her. Wow. Yeah, that's not too far away, right? 3 hours isn't bad. You know what I'm 3 hours away from? Canada. No palm trees in Canada. And I'm not picking on Canada, believe me. It's a beautiful place. I can be in Montreal in 3.5 hours, which is a cool city. It's a fun place to visit. And Old Quebec City is right near it. And that's an interesting place. It's a lot of history there and old buildings and whatnot. But like I said, no palm trees. Not that I've seen. I am probably, to drive straight through without stopping from here to get to the Florida Georgia line, it's probably about 19, 20 hours for me to drive. It would take longer than that in the RV just because, we would drive slower in the RV. And you'd have to make, a few more stops than you would in the car just because of the fuel consumption. And they say every 6 to 8 hours you should stop the RV and let the tires cool down a little bit. That way you won't have any issues with the tires popping on you. Don't want that to happen. But here's the side of the house. I have a fireplace. That's where we have the wood stove in it. And we have our flower beds that are pretty much lying dormant now. When I moved here 30 years ago, my yard was sand. I had to bring in 60 yards of loam. We built that deck that I was up on. That originally, that patio where I was showing you where the cement, where we're building the cement barbecue pit thing, there we had put an above ground pool there. Nice round pool, and it was built into the side of the deck. That fell down. I remember one spring morning I was standing at the kitchen sink doing dishes, and there was still just a little bit of ice left on top of the pool. And it was funny because I looked up and I watched the pool collapse, and that 30,000 plus gallons, no, it wasn't that much, maybe 20,000 gallons of water just all dumped out of the pool, and the pool fell over. But it'd been there for about 15 years, so we had replaced the liner once. At that point, the kids were growing up, and the dogs were using the pool more than the people were. So we didn't replace the pool. I ended up building that little patio down in the spot where the pool was. So that kind of made it nice. You celebrated your 9th birthday in Canada. Oh, well, you were born in Michigan. Yeah, that's not too far, is it? Okay, yeah. So have you been to Quebec? I mean, Montreal is in Quebec, but old Quebec City is right near Montreal. In fact, I believe it's across the river there. And that's a cool, unique city to go to. Once these restrictions start to lift a little bit, that's one of the places I want to bring our channel, is to go to Old Quebec City and feature that, some more international travel. But right now, with the way things are and all the travel BS that we have to deal with right now, we haven't done much. That's why I'm doing all these live streams and things like that, and doing some local stuff. New Hampshire's fun, though. I mean, I've talked about this before with all the mountains. We do have the ocean here. I did the one in Maine, but this winter there's a lot to do as far as up in the mountains. I think we're going to go back to the ice castles again when they open those, and I'll do another video, kind of an update on the ice castle. I know that they've expanded it. It's a lot bigger, and they do more events there, so we'll do that. And maybe we'll go back to the Budweiser brewing plant. We did a video on that. They do what's called the Frosty Tour, and the place is all decked out with Christmas lights and fires outside. And there, of course, you can sample some of their brews. The last time we were there was 2 years ago. Again, just because of the thing we're not supposed to talk about went on. They didn't have one last year. Okay, Terry, bye. Thank you, Mrs. M. Go get some rest. I'm glad you stopped in. Yeah, we've been at it for an hour now, so I probably should wrap it up. But glad that you guys all came. This has been great. Like I said, having the day off, I could go a little bit longer than normal. I'm not pressured for time at all. I appreciate you guys. I don't know if you know how much I do, but I do. It means so much to me to have met you all and continue to meet people. So yeah, okay, you haven't been up there yet. And again, yes, and that's what I was saying with what's going on here. We haven't done much traveling either. I want to go back on some cruises, and I'd like to be able to travel freely. But right now, it is what it is. So let's see. I was supposed to go help your niece for like 6 months with her 3 little ones, but it hit less than 2 months before you were going. Yep. So yeah, I get it. I totally get that. Like I said, I mean, we had just started, being able to do some international stuff with us going to Mexico, and I'm a huge history buff. So going to those Mayan ruins and that was like a dream come true for me, and I want to do more. But just with everything going on, I mean, what are we going to do? But I'm not going to let it ruin our day or ruin our plans for our channel. We'll just do more local stuff. I do have a couple videos that I want to get to editing. I had a brain cramp, but I'll get to those, and some of that is some of the places that Colleen and I have been to. So let me see. We are gonna bid farewell to you in a moment, but as always, especially today being Veterans Day, there she is. There's Old Glory. I don't know if you could see that flag in the back, but that was my latest addition this summer. And with everything going on in the world, I'm all about that. I grew up here in the cradle of America. This is the birthplace. I live in one of the original 13 colonies, New Hampshire. And That history is important to me. And so is that thing right there, that American flag. And I think it's fitting on this Veterans Day to talk a little bit about the folks, past and present, that have put their own safety on the line so that we can be safe and protected and enjoy the freedoms that we do every day. You know, the freedom to be able to go and work where you want or not work, freedom to walk and talk and do the things that you want without being uh, oppressed against or have somebody tell you you can't do it. That's what that flag stands for right there. Those 50 stars on that and those 13 stripes, it means a lot. That flag means everything to me. So here's to all our veterans, all of them, and the veterans that, or the people that are going to be future veterans. You got that right, Terry. God bless America. And God bless you all. When I say that I appreciate you, I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. I hope you all realize that. Um, this has been quite a journey on this YouTube thing, and I've met a lot of great people. I can't wait to meet you all in person, and I hope maybe soon we can. Yeah, your friendship and your support means a lot. I may not make it to all of your channels that often, but believe me, I make myself guilty because I haven't made it over to some of you in a while, but I will. I'll make my way there. Peace and love to everybody. I do. I love you all. With that said, my name's Jimmy. I'm your astute tourist, and we will see you all. I messed that up. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye.